All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Hello once again, friends, and welcome. Welcome back. The radio staff meeting was uneventful. What was eventful, though, is, well, first of all, the environment that I'm in right now, it's fucking piling up snow. I've got a foot of snow that has fallen since last night. And you know it's bad when the authorities say, no matter what, do not travel. Like there's a warning since from the time I got up today to now that says, unless you want to die, don't travel. That's all I need to hear. But people still have to, I guess, because, and by the way, it's 14 degrees right now. With the wind, it feels like 0. 1 hour ago, there was a wreck that just down the road, I don't want to get too detailed about where exactly, like it matters, but it's 196 and M6. So, and it's in Hudsonville, so right in that area, just to the south of where I am. This morning, 1 hour ago, there was a 100-car pileup. Now, you hear about these from time to time. Every year, there's always one somewhere in the U.S. that's a big one. And you hear, oh, it's massive 40-car pileup. And it takes literally days to get the fucking cars cleaned up. That's what happened. 100-car pileup at 32nd Street, Megan. Exactly. That's what the news is saying right now. M6, 196, 32nd Avenue, that area. The whole thing is shut down, both directions. 100 cars. They're saying only minor injuries somehow. But those are the spectacular ones where everybody's just driving too close, driving like Pooh Bear. And then one thing happens, and it's Daytona. It's the big one at Daytona. That's what happens there. And then nobody can stop. Roads are completely iced over. You ever seen that when you're watching the Daytona 500 and all the cars are completely, their pedals are all the way down and they're all going the same speed? You know, this big peloton of cars. And then the one guy in the front gets a little loose. And then whammo! Every car is destroyed. That's kind of what they just kept smashing into each other. I certainly hope that one of those people who got in the wreck, in the 100-car pileup, as quickly as possible got out of the vehicle, which you're not supposed to do, and started to shoot some video. I know that that's what I would do. I'm going to see the dollar signs there. If I'm badly injured, my arm's hanging by a thread, I'm going to reach in with the other arm, get the phone, and record some video. The world has been trained to do this, and I'm so thankful for it. Nick in the arena says you should have had the RV out for a drive this morning. You know what's interesting about that fucking RV show? Today, they have to take all those RVs that have been there. There's been 300 RVs at that thing. And they have to get them out of there and take them back to the dealerships. My God. All right, so that's a complete catastrophe that just happened. Another reason why I love AI, this was created quite simply and then sent along to me by Man Bun Chris. And he says that this is, you have to download the Grok app for X. So you go to the App Store, you download the Grok app, and I guess you take a picture. There is a picture that exists of me, and this is the original. This is the original photograph. And you just say to Grok, all right, and I want you to do this, this, and this. And then it'll make a video. And so then I take the video and I wrote, lost video found. Video shot one day before my firing 10 years ago. You can tell tensions were high. By the way, I'm wearing a Merchant Automotive t-shirt when this video was shot. So I posted this, and it's been looked at 21,000 times.
Enough is enough. Free beer, get a fucking normal haircut. And you, Hot Wings, stop fake laughing at everything. Check out the Eric Zane show. Enough. Enough is enough.
Okay, that's fantastic. True, it looks a little chirpy derpy. The words don't match with the mouth, but who gives a fuck? It is creating something that did not happen. Those two look shocked.
Enough. Enough is enough. Free beer, get a fucking normal haircut. And you, Hot Wings, stop fake laughing at everything. Check out the Eric Zane show. Enough.
Oh, God. That's fantastic. Thank you to Man Bun Chris. Another thing that I posted that got a lot of legs was all I did was made one crack. They were the Dixie Chicks, then just the Chicks, and now they're the Thicks because of Natalie Main. And just because I wrote the Thicks, there was a couple people that were pretty pissed off. One of them is a friend of mine. Now, I didn't say anything negative. I didn't say I hate Thicks or whatever. I mean, I love Fluffy. I've said that before on this show. This is a pal of mine, this Lisa here. This is Jay Allen's widow. I love her. She said, don't body shame. I'm huge compared to when I was in my 30s and 40s. And so I said, no shame. She looks great. I love Fluffy. And it's true. I've said that many times. Mike here wrote, nice save with me saying that. Bob says, yeah, let's embrace obesity and laziness. And then I wrote, come on. Matt says, gotta admit, it's been a minute since I've seen you in the gym. I'm Fluffy. Andy O'Reilly, legendary radio guy, says the banjo picking chick has always been my Dixie chick. There's been numerous jokes. Tony wrote wide open spaces to graze. This one said, and yet still has more musical talent than Kid Rock ever will. I was like, okay, I'm not fine. Great. Someone wrote Natalie Maines, more like Natalie Gaines. Thought that was a good joke. Someone said, what about the Dixie Chunks? Mike here got all pissed off. Damn, as someone who used to love the Freeburn Hot Wings show with EZ, it's kind of sad. Hang on, I got to sneeze. This guy took it so hard, that crack. It's kind of sad how far he has fallen. Does he just steal jokes now? Which I'm like, no, I came up with that one. Trying to get in with the political grifting crowd? You would think he could relate to someone trying to rebuild after losing it all for a comment that they made. But no, tired weight jokes. It's like, Jesus Christ. I wrote steal. I made that up. I don't know if you heard it before, but I know I have several times, was pretty lame the first time I heard it. And I said, all right, I'll send all my jokes to you ahead of time. Yeah, that guy was ridiculous. Rod says he didn't fall far and landed on his feet. Mike says if that was true, I would think he would be a little less insecure and move on. Fucking A, dude. It's just a joke. What an asshole. What a total bitch. Well, anyway, I didn't expect that throwaway joke to go viral, but boy, did it. It was viewed 140,000 times. Rebecca says, as your resident thick, she looks good. She's clearly enjoying her life. My God. Tyler says the AI looks and sounds just like you. All right. So that was part of my weekend. I got to share this with you. This is going back to the football game. The Rams beat the Bears. We talked about that. But in the game afterwards, they're interviewing some dude. I don't know who the fuck he is. First, they interviewed Matt Stafford, and then they interviewed Harrison Mevis. I don't know who he is, but I guess he said something fucked up. You know how, like in radio, when you say something bad, you hit the dump button? I guess there's a new button at TV stations that you hit, and it just scrambles it to make whoever's talking sound like they're speaking a different language. So this guy must have said something that was screwed up. So they hit the scramble button. This is that moment.
Pre-game, and you said, I'm used to these elements. This is backyard football. What was it like in that moment?
Shoot, that's why we do it, man. That's why we do it.
Is that what you want it to come down to?
Yeah, I mean, preferably this guy gets in the end zone, but, if it has to come down to me, I'll be ready for my moment,
So strange.
Pre-game, and you said, I'm used to these elements. This is backyard football. What was it like in that moment?
Shoot, that's why we do it, man. That's why we do it.
That sounded like when you would play a record backwards. I don't know if everybody gets that reference. But if you put an LP, a vinyl record on, some asshole figured out that if you turn the record backwards, there's like messages in there. And there was a whole thing in the 70s and 80s that everyone was like, oh my God, they're telling us to worship the devil. Like if you were to take Stairway to Heaven and play it backwards, Robert Plant, it sounds like he's saying, my sweet Satan. I swear to God. If you play a Beatles record backward, it says, Paul is dead man. Miss him, miss him. Because there was this whole big fucking thing that Paul McCartney was dead. That's what that reminded me of. Tyler says it sounds like he's Amish. Jeremy says he's having bertations. Chris says hit the pig Latin button. Rebecca says sounds like he's having a seizure. Speaking of sports, there was a ridiculous scenario that took place in some soccer game. Now, I'm going to get a lot of this wrong, but I'll get most of it right. And I have the best part, and that is the brawl. There was some soccer game between Senegal and I believe Morocco. These are African nations, and I think they were doing some championship game, and the ref made a shitty call. And according to Man Bun Chris, there's always been corruption in this championship game. Soccer's a disaster. So these Senegal fans were pissed off, and they were so pissed off at the call that, as far as I understand, they then rioted. The Moroccan team knew the fix was in, so they intentionally missed the PK, and then the game went to overtime, and then Senegal won, I guess. That's what I'm being led to believe. Now, what you need to pay attention to, though, is the riot. As far as soccer riots go, this one is one for the ages here. So all these Senegal fans are coming out of the stadium, and they're grabbing things like chairs. And you know, like when you're when they have those dividers, and there's those brass stands that holds the little lane divider, they're grabbing those, and the fans are attacking these guys with the blue smocks. These are photographers. So these Senegal fans are enraged. Look at this guy. He looks like a juggalo. And he's attacking the goddamn photographers. Carl writes, sorry, I missed your call. Was it to talk Bills? Hold on a second here.
Yo.
Yeah, it was to talk the Bills.
All right.
I'm podcasting, Carl.
Am I on air right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I just have a few minutes. What's up?
That's fucking ridiculous. I cannot fucking believe that. I can't believe he got fired. I can't believe that call happened. I can't believe Josh Allen was so shitty.
I can't believe Josh Allen was crying afterwards. That wasn't great.
Some people are saying that he was crying because he knew he was getting fired. What do you think about that?
Well, because he knew his coach was getting fired?
Yeah.
I'm still baffled by this. I didn't believe it when I saw it this morning because the Bills didn't have any cap space. It's kind of a rebuilding year for them, and they overachieved. They have no wide receivers. The defense, they didn't have any secondary players. So the idea you'd go 12-5, win a road playoff game, and get fired is I don't know what they expect out of the guy who completely changed the culture of the franchise. I mean, the Bills, 17 seasons in a row without a playoff appearance. They bring this guy in, and now they go to the playoffs every year. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And frankly, whoever they bring in, since he's such a player's coach, there's no way the new guy is going to be able to win anybody over here.
Well, yeah, everyone's bought into his system. Like everyone believes in this guy and the system, and that's why they play so good, even when they have, second string, third string guys going out there and competing. So it's crazy to me, and especially because all the big names are already off the board, right?
Some people are already saying Belichick.
Oh God, no.
What about Harbaugh?
No.
Harbaugh's gone, right? He's with the Giants.
Yeah,
now?
Harbaugh's with the Giants. Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot imagine.
I would take Harbaugh though.
What a frustration. I can't believe. I mean, as a Lions fan, it always sucks, but I think it's tenfold with Bills fans. It's so much more because you're always there. It's how do you do this? How?
It's heartbreaking. It really is. The way that game ended, just the officiating. How do they not review that play? I thought the rule was every scoring play and turnover you review. They changed that?
The whole thing was shitty, and the catch was a catch. He was down. Yeah. I'm floored. Yeah. I am just fucking floored. I think the fix was in, Carl.
I do think that the NFL does not want a small market like Buffalo being in big games. The ratings are going to be lower, but...
All right. Very good. I just wanted to get the conversation from an actual Bills fan who's got skin in the game.
Dude, it's fucking a brutal, brutal weekend, but always good to talk to you, my friend.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. See ya.
Carl with a Bills report. Tyler says NFL officiating either rigged or fucking awful. Cole says expected a Super Bowl. America wants it. They let America down. All right. Back to this fight. This isn't a fight. This is a massacre. I will say I'm really happy with the skin color of the Senegal fans because it's easier to see not only the skin color, but they're wearing yellow. And people who are from Senegal, they're not like American black people. They're super black. They're like Wesley Snipes black. This makes for an easy following of this brawl. insane clown posse, insane black posse swinging that fucking chair. Look, back that up. Down in the front here. Oh, dude just got hit in the head. You must go to the show notes and click on this outrageous riot that took place. Okay, honestly, I think that if you're a Bills fan, this would be acceptable. Cole describes him as Unk with the chair for the Montgomery Brawl. Why don't we see this at an NFL game? The only thing that's different is that it happened in another country and it's a different sport. I want, if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, why don't they riot? They should. And I would be supporting them, actually hunting down the officials and causing harm. What a bunch of fucking idiots. Thank you to Chris. He, I understood very little of what he sent, so I actually had to write to him. I go, dude, I don't get soccer talk. What's happening here and why? Trump has been ratcheting up the rhetoric about taking over the country, the island country of Greenland, which is a property of Denmark. And people are getting more and more pissed off about it. Vanessa Williams was singing the national anthem in England. There was a British crowd at the O2 Arena last night. An NBA game was going on in London, and so she was singing the anthem. And that led to this moment as she was singing. Somebody yells out, "Leave Greenland alone." She keeps it together. Now, the New York Post said that comment was met with boos, but I'm not hearing that. Still looks good too, by the way. Yeah, I don't like it when people take the national anthem and then make like a spectacle out of it, because it's always the person singing that it fucks up. Nick says, I'm sure London loves hearing a song about whooping their asses. The reason why I hate that is because some dickhead is going to see that around here. Some person who's pissed off at Trump and is going to take it upon themselves at the next Griffins game to do the same goddamn "leave Greenland alone." The problem with that is oftentimes the people that's singing the anthem at the Griffins game is like a kid or a school or someone that isn't a regular performer, and you're going to fuck them up, you know? That would make me feel miserable. Lions today says we have a 100-plus car pileup in Zealand. Just got a national alert on my phone. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Thank you, Lions Alert. That's crazy. Yeah, fucking shut up. We had some people that were sitting during the anthem the other day. It was the day last week. Was that last week when the chick got killed in Minnesota, Renee Good? After that happened, the next Griffins game, you saw people. There was three chicks that were right behind me, seated during the anthem. I haven't seen that in a while, but they were seated during the anthem and eating, which I guess if you want to be disrespectful, that's the way to do it. But not everybody feels that way. Some people are like, no, that's what we want. We want to show the world that America sucks. Now, I would not do that, but a lot of people are pretty pissed off. And now a lot of people are pretty pissed off about Trump wanting Greenland. And he said recently, we can do this either the easy way or the hard way. Now, not everybody knows what that means. Now, I don't think he means he's just going to go in and take over with force. Okay? But I think that in case he is thinking that, the participating NATO countries would do everything they can to not allow that to happen, which would mean the U.S. is at war with NATO. Now, I do not believe that is going to happen. But Trump wants to actually make a purchase of it, Denmark. And so he wants to make a deal. Spend the money, and you're asking yourselves why. No one really knows. Now, I know what I think, and I'll get to that in a second. But what is being suggested is that the United States needs it for security. The concern would be that nations like Russia and or China would take it over, that they would take it. And then that would be a security issue for the United States to have them so close to the United States. So Trump is like, well, how about we take it over so that they cannot take it over? All right. It's crucial to the defense of North America, according to an article on The Independent. When the U.S. occupied Greenland, in fact, that has made it crucial to the defense of North America since the Second World War, when the U.S. occupied Greenland to ensure it did not fall into the Nazis' hands and to protect North Atlantic shipping lanes. All right, so maybe that's what he's thinking. Following the Cold War, though, the Arctic was largely an area of international cooperation, but climate change is thinning the Arctic ice, promising to create a Northwest Passage for international trade and reigniting competition with Russia, China, and other countries. The Trump administration charges Denmark with not doing enough to shore up security in the region, something European allies are desperately looking to improve. The other thing that comes up is Greenland is rich in rare earth minerals. Now, this is what I think is the reason why Trump wants this. Follow the money. What they have there is a key component to tech. When you mine the shit out of the ground, it can be used for phones, computers, batteries, and other high-tech gadgets. This has attracted the interest of the U.S. and other Western powers as they try to ease China's dominance for the market for these critical minerals. That's what I think is going on there. And I think when Trump says we can do this the easy way or the hard way, what he's planning on doing is tariffing the shit out of these countries. So he's tariffing Denmark and any nation that is opposing the United States in acquiring it. So a 10% tariff starts in February, and then there will be further tariffs as long as this goes, until they actually agree, yes, you can have it. Those tariffs would increase to 25% on June 1 and would continue until a deal is reached for the U.S. to purchase Greenland. Trump says world peace is at stake. China and Russia want Greenland, and there is not a thing Denmark can do about it. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, bingo, EZ. So he is going to get it, and he's going to do it the hard way, is by taxing the shit out of goods and services. And then eventually they'll come to the table. It'll be purchased. That will belong to the U.S. That's what I predict will happen. Unless if there's some type of falling out between the American people and Trump over this. And this is all about money. It always has been with money. It always has been about money when it comes to Trump, is what I'm trying to say. Always. Don't ever look past the dollars and cents of it. This is a businessman that will lie, cheat, steal to get money. Will it be for the betterment of the country? I sure would hope so. I mean, let's put it this way. If Trump is leading the United States and what he's doing is going to benefit the American people, I don't necessarily hate it. It makes the U.S. look like fuck to the rest of the world. But in the end, it's probably going to benefit us. Will the rest of the world hate our guts? Probably. Cole says, then we use the tariff money to buy it, so they're actually paying for us to take it. Almost the same thing as Zane buying his daughter's car twice. There's no controversy with that. When it comes to business, I make bad decisions. Venezuela, we took that for oil. Greenland, we're going to take that, and then he's going to mine the shit out of it. That's what's going to happen. All right, I always like to watch a good old ass kicking. Before I get to that, and especially of a racist, before I get to that, as always, a salute to the sponsors. Maybe not today, go to King's Room Barbershop, but as long as you know that they are there. 3 locations: Caledonia, Northland Drive, 821 36th Street, kingsroom.net if you need to get your hair cut. When you go to their website, there's exact locations, schedules, and whatnot. A haircut will set you back $21, $18 if you're a veteran, either active or retired. Let them know, and please mention me when you bang on the door of King's Room Barbershop. Great place to get your hair cut. Bread Bull Brain Chris says benefiting the country is secondary to his ego. Bread Bull Brain Chris also adds, if what he does benefits the U.S., it is because he wants his name on big accomplishments. Okay. And then benefiting the country is secondary to his own ego. Okay, let me put it this way. If Biden did anything amazing for the country, I don't recall what it is. He may have, but I think that if that were true, they didn't do a good enough job talking about it. You want to be assuring the American people that work is being accomplished. Okay? So when high-speed drug boats get blown up and my feed is full with that amazing footage, that makes me like, that's a good job. That's good work. When they go in and steal the president of Venezuela and his wife, that's good work. You cannot argue with any of that shit. I think they needed better PR for Joe Biden, or maybe he didn't do anything. I don't know. All right. Thank you to Kuiper Tree Care. You can find them at kuipertreecare.com, Kuiper, treecare.com. Call or text Ben Kuiper today at 616-828-8225. If you want an estimate on a job, maybe there's unwanted trees that you want to get rid of this spring, Kuiper Tree Care are the ones in West Michigan to do it. 616-828-8225. Kuiper, treecare.com. They can get rid of unwanted trees on your property, grind down the stump. They can clean up storm damage. They can do tree trimming. They can also do tree risk assessment. They do it all at Kuiper Tree Care, a West Michigan company. Please mention me. Finally, no matter where you are in the U.S., if you are getting ready to take advantage of your health care policy through the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, you definitely want to have Frank do this for you. Right now, it's trickier than ever to get a policy on the marketplace. Fortunately for you, I have someone who works for free. Stand by, I got a cough. Who will take care of everything that you need taken care of through the website healthcare.gov. Now, you can do that by yourself, but it's a pain in the ass, takes time. There's a fairly good chance you can screw something up. So, if you are in between jobs, or your boss does not offer insurance, or you're self-employed, get your health care policy with help from Frank. The starting place is going to appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. Speaking of racist, before I get to this video, there was a guy on my Facebook feed who is a goddamn admitted racist. And I found that information out because he was one of my haters. And I had an audience member who said, hey, by the way, I did a deep dive on this guy. And I just found out that he's a fucking racist. I'm like, what? Huh? Holy shit. It was, who sent that along? Messenger. That was, I'm struggling. It was Tim. Thank you to Tim V for sending this information along on this guy, Justin Castleman. I ended up blocking him from my page because I was really kind of disgusted with, even if I didn't say it, or even if it was him saying it, I just didn't like it on there. He had went back, this Tim guy, to see that this guy, Justin, had said horrible things about black people. I'm not going to repeat what is said in the square rectangle, or in the red rectangles here, but you can see some awful statements about black people. And I used that against this dumb son of a bitch on a Facebook post, because he was one of these idiots who was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go get EZ. And he said that I'm going to go, I'm going to turn in all this bullshit that you say to your sponsors. And I'm like, go ahead. We'll be showing this along with other screenshots to your sponsors, as well as some clips of things you've said. Enjoy being fired a second time. And I'm like, this is a Free Beer and Hot Wings fan. I wrote, yeah, good luck. I'll respond that it's coming from a guy who posts things like this. And then I shared that post from his past. Then I had another audience member that outed him. The racist guy, Justin's mom, is on here, Tammy Castleman. Also, apparently, he's a dad. This is the dude with this smug fuck look on his face. Then he used the N-word. It was reported by Linda. And after the reporting it was deleted by Facebook. And he actually wrote in one of the comments, which is not on my page anymore, I have no problem telling the world that I hate. And then he wrote the N-word on there. He actually wrote the N-word. So bad. So speaking of racist, this fucking idiot is screaming out, "Go back to Mexico," and then calls a group of Latinos the N-word. And then they jumped on him. And they beat the fuck out of him. So we're going to live vicariously behind these Mexicans. Okay, this white dude, he's the one that's going to get the shit kicked out of him. Excuse the language. Sorry about this.
Go back to Mexico, you little nigger.
All right, that's the one. That's the one right there.
You did your good one. Go back to Mexico, you little nigger.
It says street justice was served after a dude in San Francisco made racist remarks.
You did your good one.
Okay, now he's white guy's telling him to come and get it, and then he's making finger guns. All right, now white bros are trying to get him out of there. Okay, his friend is urging racist guy to go give it to him. All right, somebody clocked him, and now they're playing the feud. Nice. They're really putting the boots to him. Oh, he just ate that right. Oh, no. Big left. He ate a roundhouse wild left. That one that came from the back of the room. Oh, yes. That was it. He's like, I've had enough after that. Due to the oh shit. All right, that was something. God damn. Rebecca says hard R makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't blame you. Made me uncomfortable. Fucking asshole. I am so glad that guy got his ass kicked. Wow. Donut Dan says it's not often you get to see real justice delivered. Yeah, he just wasn't injured enough, though. Friday's asshole of the day I wrote down as pedo deacon. I vaguely remember the story. Join me on Patreon a little later, patreon.com/Eric Zane. I just talked with Ben Glaze. We are doing a Big Fraud Thursday this week with Who Are These Free Beers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. So who's the asshole of the day? You know, I mean, it could very easily just be that dude there. But that's too easy, I think. I think the asshole of the day has to be Buffalo Bills management for firing Sean McDermott. What a catastrophe. My God. Honorable mention goes to internet racists and Thor motor coach. By the way, odds on my first trip with the fraud bus coming up in the spring about it going smoothly. We'll have to take bets. Somehow we'll have to put some type of wager down as to whether or not it works out. And there isn't a damn thing I can do about it. Nothing. Other than filing a lawsuit, and I'm not doing that. All right. That's why you need to sign up for Patreon, to help pay for the fraud bus. Some people, like when it comes to like Patreon memberships, there'll be like a portion of that money goes to a charity. No, it all goes to me. All the money. I need a lot of money to pay for vet visits and the fraud bus. Okay. So when you sign up for Patreon, you're helping me take care of the pets and helping me pay for this goddamn boat anchor around my neck. Holy shit. Big Fraud Charities, LLC. Sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That is my time on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later on Patreon. Bye-bye.